Okay, so this is my lightning talk, learning Chinese with Ruby. So I started learning Chinese in 2005, and not much later I started learning Ruby. And so ever since that time, I've been like writing all kinds of scripts and little apps to help myself. One of the first things that I built was this Ziku. It never really launched officially, but the idea was to sort of build a database of how characters are composed, because it's really like remembering characters is hard, and that kind of stuff really helps. But then later on I found like good data sets that already have that stuff. Now this was still on Ruby 1.8, so Unicode support was not that good, and you had to do funky stuff like split on empty string and make sure you set the K code and everything. Whereas now, since 1.9, all that stuff has gotten so much easier. So I don't know if everybody knows this, but these characters and code points, enumerators, they're absolutely great. They're so handy for a lot of this stuff. So then I went on and I made this gem called Ting. This was actually my very first gem, I think back in 2007, 2008. And it basically converts between different ways of writing Chinese phonetically. So you see I have like some pinyin here, and it actually parses the pinyin into initial, final, and a tone. So this is Hanyu pinyin. If I want to represent that as Zhuyin Fuhao, like the bopomorpho that they use in Taiwan, you get a reader, you make a writer, you pass whatever comes out of the reader into the writer, and then you get your Zhuyin Fuhao. Oh, small error there, yeah. So it has bopomorpho. It has IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. Looks a bit funky, but like that's sort of the official way of internationally representing phonetic stuff. And then you have this Tongyong Pinyin that's sometimes used in Taiwan as well. So you see that the ch like now has an H on the end because it's slightly different. And then I went, because I've been making all these different scripts and stuff, and I always kind of need the same data, and there's a couple good data sets online available, like CDIC, which is this Chinese-English dictionary, Chais IDS, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but so this Analect is basically a gem that gives you unified access to these different data sets. So it comes with some rake tasks. You kind of see it in the comments at the top there. You know, you make a rake task, and then you can just say like rake download all, and it'll fetch all these different data sets from different places, put them in a .analects folder, and then from there you can start using them. So you have an analects library which gives you different iterators, enumerators to go over this stuff, and then you can just use it in memory from there or stick it into a database. So Chais IDS is a data set that actually has that character information of how things are split up. And then finally, it also wraps another gem that implements an algorithm for tokenizing Chinese, so that some characters go together and form a word, but you don't always know on the outset. So it has that tokenize, so you can do that stuff. So this is fun, and once you have that, you can start playing around. So I have a bunch of command line scripts that wrap this to look up. Another stuff that Analect has is the list of all the HSK vocabulary. So that's the standardized test in China, because when you look at a dictionary, it's not always obvious if words are actually used. So here I have all the words that have go, but only the ones that are in the HSK, so I know that they're useful. And then the first number is the HSK level, so like if it's number 2, I should probably know it. If it's number 4, maybe it's for later. The Chais IDS that tells you how characters are put together. And because they're just shell scripts, you can like combine them all. So this is like, give me all the characters that have that component, and then look up the HSK words with the characters that have that component. So that takes a little while. While it's doing that, at the top you see I've started this program called character training. So that's a spaced repetition thing that I use for practicing characters. So it gives me a character, and I have to type the pinyin. And if it goes red, I did it wrong. So I'm not doing a terrible good job here. Okay, I'm getting better. And it remembers how well I already know certain characters, so that it spaces them further in the future. So I don't get the same character every day. Like if I already know a character quite well, it might take several weeks before it shows me that again. It has a bunch of stuff built in. It has what I showed earlier, like the character composition and the HSK. I can access all that from there. Here you get an overview. So like there's 98 characters that I should review within an hour, and 272 that I should review within 2 weeks. So yeah, that's all I have. Thanks a lot.